Hello, guys. Welcome back to the Try Time podcast. I'm Callum,
And I'm Matt.
and today we are going to be ranking the 2021 Super League home shirts. We're going to be ranking them on a scale of 1 to 10. Obviously, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. And I reckon we just get straight into it. So, we're starting off with Castleford. Home kit, a bit different. What do you reckon, Matt?
I mean, is it really a Castleford home kit? There's barely any orange. I mean, here's a little trip to what was happening before recording. I actually had to double check that this was the home kit and not their away kit, because that's how much I could not tell which one it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Where's the branding?
It kind of looks like an away kit that they would have. I get where you're coming from with that.
I like the shirt. It's a nice kit. There's some. I mean, I'm going to get into the intricacies here. There's a very strange textured pattern-y look on the black V. That fits in really well. Contrasts nicely, gives some nice shading there. It's a really classy shirt. It's just not a Castleford home shirt for me.
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from. I think it's nice, looks clean, looks modern. You know, it's a decent shirt. It's like, but again, it's just the colours. If you make that all orange, then I think it stands out more as a cast shirt. It's very.
I think even if you make the V orange or something, it's more Cass home shirt.
Yeah.
You're getting then into the reverse of the 2017 one, I think it was, when they actually turned into one of the top teams.
Yeah,
I think we'll get into the ranking for this one. For me, if it was an away shirt, I'd probably be giving it 9 or 10 and one of the best in the league. As a home kit, it lacks identity. 7.5.
7.5. Right. I'm thinking. I'm gonna give it an 8. I think, because I think it is a nice shirt, but I get what you're saying about the sort of colours and stuff. So, but I think decent effort, I guess, from Cass going for something different. Can't really knock them, I guess. So next up, we have got the Catalans Dragons.
Yes, our favourite Frenchies. Well, it's not a bad shirt, but I do think it's a bit boring.
See, I really like this shirt. I think it's really smart. I like how it's like. I think it's a bit different to what you'd usually get from a Catalan shirt. I don't know. There's just something about it. I think. I don't know if it's the thin pinch, like the stripes on the V. I don't know. I just like the texture as well.
I like the whole idea of having the thin pinstripes, the much more Catalan flag. I like that. It's their heritage. I get it. I don't dislike the texture on the shirt with the darker lines going through the middle. But I don't know, I just think there's a better way of integrating them than this. Maybe a few more pinstripes is the answer.
Potentially.
Because what it is for me is these sponsors up the badge and then the one on the other side of the chest, the cross through the pinstripe. I don't like that to me. That looks like it's just been slapped on as an afterthought.
Yeah,
this is literally a template shirt you could make on Rugby League Live with a Catalan flag shoved on it.
Yeah, I kind of see that. But I do like it. I just think, like, just from the pure eye test, I don't think I can really knock the shirt. I think it's going to look really clean when you see players. Like when you. Well, see
it's not, because they're going to get full of mud and grass stains after about 2 minutes. But
not when they're playing at home. They're not. That's the glory of this shirt. There's no mud in France.
No, but there's still grass. But
yeah, I know.
It's an okay kit. There's nothing particularly wrong with it, but it's a bit FM template for me. So for that, I'm going to give it a 5.
5, really? See,
it's a bit lazy.
I'm complete overweight. I think simple, but it does the job. I'm going to give it a 9.
Oh, that's generous.
I do really like this shirt. So anyway, we'll move on.
We might find out that 5's quite generous compared to some of my ratings in this list, but let's move on to Huddersfield and see where they get to.
What do you reckon to this home kit?
I mean, I don't really know what to think of it, to be quite honest. I mean, it's nice to see Huddersfield have still got absorbent arses. I really don't think that's the best place to have that sort of sponsor, but anyway, we'll leave the shorts out of the question for now. I mean, it's Huddersfield's traditional colours. Again, they've gone for the same look as Catalan have, with the darker textured lines on the middle of the shirt. But I don't know what I make to the yellow bottom. I really don't.
Yeah, I think, looking at the kit last year, I liked the kit last year more than I like this one. I just think this one's just, I don't know. Something about it just reminds me. It's like they've just took like a Brisbane Broncos kit. It doesn't have much. I like the colours, but I don't know if it has the identity. And like, I get what you're saying about the yellow at the bottom. I just think it looks a bit mismatched.
There's something that I really don't like, and this is where I'm going to start pulling upon niche things that probably no one else has thought. But to me, it's like they've moved what they want to do on the shirt to the bottom, not to upset the sponsors.
Hey, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, we don't obviously know the background to that, but that definitely could be true. I could see that.
It could be. I mean, and the other thing, I just think, I know I'm just going against everything I've just said on Catalans, but I think they'd have been better just keeping the yellow to the edges of the shirt, the hems, the collar, and that'd have been a nicer kit. Just follow this nice maroon and claret texture all the way down.
Yeah.
For me, the yellow ruins it. 4.
4, right? Yeah. I think I'll be a little more generous than you. I think I'm going to give it probably a 6. I think it's still a nice shirt. I just don't think I think it's a drop down from last year's shirt for me.
Hull FC.
Yeah, Hull FC, what are you thinking?
Well, there's never too much to say about Hull. It's how do you mess up black and white? And to be honest, I don't think they have. I think this is quite a clean shirt. I have one single complaint with it, and it is the edges of the badge going through the black stripe.
Oh yeah, I see how the black stripes kind of like stop.
Yeah, they'd be better keeping that panel full white in my opinion.
Yeah.
But then I can see why they've done it, because otherwise then you've got the stripes starting underneath the main sponsor, which then I'd just say looks weird there as well. I do like the new badge actually, without the gold. I think that looks really classy.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what I'd say about this kit. It's like looking at last year's as well, and then kind of gone a bit more modern with it, with the ISC, and now it's Hummel. It seems like drawn back. It looks like a Hull kit from 6-7 years ago, and I like it.
It's very monochrome.
Yeah, I like it.
Even the Betfred Super League patches look like it's in black and white. It's really well integrated. I love the whole fact there's no colour on it whatsoever. And
yeah, even the sponsors, yeah, I get you.
It's a minor design flaw with the stripes, so for that I'm going to give him a minor point off. It's 8 and the best so far.
For me, I'm going to give them an 8.5, I think, because I think it is quality, and I do like the classic kit. Not quite on Catalans level for me yet, but I do like it, definitely.
Now on to something I'm going to rip to shreds a little more. I think Hull KR might just beat FC in the competition this year, but certainly not in terms of kit design. This is, for me, a shocker.
Go on, explain.
Where's the rest of it? I'm not... This is going to sound stupid, because how many times can a sponsor ruin a shirt? But this is not a shirt that looks right without a sponsor. It literally looks like a polo shirt that'd sell for 25 quid in leisure section.
Yeah, it looks like a training top, doesn't it?
Yeah.
See him warm up in it, yeah. I know what you mean.
If you're going to go for a sponsorless shirt, you've got to do something a bit better and a bit classier. Huddersfield Town's football shirt, for example, really stood off the blue and white contrast. This is just plain red. You're not using the fact you haven't got a sponsor to make the shirt better in any way.
Yeah, I get that.
Get a sponsor that fits your colour scheme like Hull FC have done. Put anything in white and it will make the shirt look more complete. This just looks like they've not actually got any business done.
Yeah, I mean, even if they'd put that, like the white V's that they've got going on there, even if that like ran all the way down the shirt, I think that'd even be better maybe. Like just something else to it.
I'm not sure it'd be better, but it'd certainly look a lot less plain.
Yeah,
and
something
you'd see
like that,
where
like
not having a sponsor does work with what they've tried to do.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, this is poor. I'm sorry. 2.
2, really? Oh dear. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna say a 4. I think it's not awful. I mean, it's simple, I guess. It's
it kind of is awful.
Right,
and speaking of kits that I think are awful, we're now going to move on to the Rhinos home shirt. I don't even know where to start on this. I hate this shirt with a passion.
Really? Oh, go on, explain.
I'll start on a positive note. I like the fact we've got a proper collar, but I'm not sure how that works on an actual player's match issue shirt.
Yeah, I imagine the colour still should be there. It might be not as... I imagine it'll be sort of integrated more into the shirt
Yeah.
to a point where it's not as much big of a factor.
I'd hope so, but in terms of a shirt you're actually going to buy, if you think cotton collar, sure, old school, like it, that's fine. Now on to what I don't like. This just looks like two shirts that they've stitched together because they've ran out of material. There's too much white on the top, there's next to no amber, and okay, it's got blue on it. Well, that's hardly a great tick, is it? Okay, ours had a lot of red on it, and that was still crap. The only redeeming things on this are, for me, the 7 blue and amber bands in the middle. Obviously, the Rob Burrow influence on the shirt.
Yeah.
But this is again kind of what annoys me, because they've almost used this to piggyback the shirt to be better than it is. If you're gonna do a tribute shirt based on his career, do a sponsored equivalent of his testimonial shirt from 2011, which hopefully you'll have a chance to edit a picture of that on the screen now.
Yeah.
And that's better. For God's sake, charge 5 or 10 quid more than you normally would and donate it to M&D charity. You'll still sell it.
Yeah, I get that completely. Yeah.
This it's just a cop-out with this shirt. I mean, for God's sake, Sinfield released his own testimonial shirt last year. Why can't we do that? It was a lot nicer design than what this is.
I think.
And the fake blue Adidas stripes on the sleeve, what are you doing? Stop trying to kid yourself.
I was going to come to this, and right, you take all the badges off of this, so the Leeds badge, the berries, the oxen, all that sort of stuff, and then you take the collar off, I guess. It just looks like someone's merged the top half of a Leeds United home kit and the bottom half of a Leeds Rhinos.
This is what I thought when I said the two shirts stitched together.
Yeah.
And Oxen, you're not Adidas. Stop trying to fake it and add a couple of extra stripes. Just embrace your place.
Yeah.
Poor.
It's alright. I like the classy sort of look they're going for. I just don't think they've pulled it off.
I want to give it. It gets a 3 and 2 of them marks for having 7 bands on it.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4, I think. 4 for me.
Right, let's go on to something more positive and... Oh wait, no, that's not a Wigan shirt, that's Leigh's shirt.
Go on, what are your thoughts?
I actually really like it. I mean, it's got some weird tyre tread marks as if a truck's run over it after it's been finished, but I actually quite like that.
Yeah, it gives it a bit of texture, doesn't it?
It's got character. It's a nice shirt. I aren't so keen on some of their sponsors that they've got, but, you know, there's only so much you can do with a sponsor logo, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I've not got much to say about it.
Like, I imagine you like this as well, because I know how sort of picky you are with where your badges are put, but the badges and stuff like fit in the white rather than overlapping with the red, I guess. It looks clean, I think. I'm
going to mention that on the away shirt, actually, because they've not done quite as strong a job with the sponsor placement on that. But this is a very clean shirt. Even the top of the Betfred looks to line up with the cuff of the red mark. It's really well done.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's getting a good mark. It's getting an 8.5.
8.5, really? Best so
It's
far.
one of those shirts that's simple and therefore timeless.
I'm going to give it a 7, me personally. I think... I do like it, I don't know. There's just something about it, maybe I think it might look a bit... I don't know. Anyway, it's getting a 7 anyway. Sort of upper middle of the road, I guess. So on to Salford. I'm
glad to say the shirt is nicer than the new badge.
Yeah, I get it. I love this shirt.
It's nice to see that they've finally got rid of Marwan Kukash with some horns on from the badge, because I'm not kidding, the Devil mascot literally looks like him. It is Kukash with some horns on. I will not accept anything other than that. Do you know, this is 2 years in a row Salford have gone out there with their shirt design, and I'm really starting to appreciate it. I hated last year's, but this is a different story.
Yeah, I love this kit. I think it's classy. It looks neat. It looks smart.
It's not perfect. You know, I don't know if I like the interruption in the stripe for the red, the almost H pattern on the front. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that, but I don't really know how else you integrate that sort of sponsor without doing that.
Yeah, I get it. I kind of think it flows though. Like you kind of, it's there, but it's not like it doesn't draw your attention away.
I like the fact it's on the sleeves as well. I think that's really nice. Good that they've continued that.
Yeah.
I want to give it bonus points for being so out there, but I just don't think I can bring myself to give it any more than a 7.
A 7, right? Well,
because there are problems.
This is going high with me. I'm going to say 9.5. I love this kit.
Again, it's the little stuff as well. Sponsor placements overlapping into the black and some weird blue sponsor that just really does not sit well with the shirt.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from completely.
We know I'm picky, and I hate the fact the edge of the badge runs into the black. That should be pushed further over and kept in the red. But anyway, on to St Helens.
Yeah, what do you reckon to this?
Well, this is going to be short and sweet because it's a Saints kit. It's got a red V on it. The V's got a bit more curved to last year, which was more of a straight line thing. I don't know how else to word that, but it's smart. They've actually bothered to keep the sponsors in the right places, even slanting the shoulder sponsors to make sure they don't cross into the red. It's classy. It's just a St Helens shirt, really. I can't really give it more than an 8 because it's not imaginative.
Yeah, I mean, I like the little thing the team have added where the sort of like the red sort of, it don't just stop dead at the arm. It's sort of like it's got like a bit of a gradient fade on it. I do like that touch.
Yeah,
that looks nice.
I agree.
But again, I get where you're coming from. It's very simplistic, but I don't think Saints have to go out there. You know, we sort of marked Cast down because they sort of changed it up. I don't think Saints needed to. It's iconic. It works.
I'm gonna say, as much as I agree with you, I like the fade going into the arms. I'm not so keen on the fade under the armpit down the side. That to me, block red. Yeah. So that kind of undoes the bonus point for having it into the arm. But yeah, we'll move on to Wakefield with that one. And
what are you rating it?
Did I not say 8?
8. Oh yeah,
that's fine. I think I did say, but if not, sorry.
I wasn't sure if it were your final answer. That's all, because you said it at the start. So I'm gonna go.
Sorry, Jeremy.
7.5. Right, Wakey, what are you thinking?
You have a very interesting colour palette. You've got blue, white, red, all at your disposal, and this is what you can come up with. I mean, in principle, it's not a bad shirt. It should tick a lot of my boxes. I like the hem design with the white and then the thin red lines going through, although I do think it should go the full way around the sleeve and not stop halfway around. A bit more effective on the collar. I can see why they've not brought that round for the full one, but again, I don't know if I quite like where it just stops randomly. And all the sponsors are placed in the right place. I just think they could have done more.
Yeah, it's simplistic, but you know what I like? How the ASUS, like the badge, it's like, obviously it's on the white sort of canvas.
It fits the club colours as well.
It matches the colour of the shirt, so the colours are like the consistent, if you get what I'm saying. Like
this is going to be a weird one. The back of the shirt. Why have they got arrows pointing to the backside? What's that about? That I don't get that. I don't know what I think of that. I mean, yeah, is that going to look right on Terry while he's queuing for his pint at match, assuming he can actually get in round this year?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It probably isn't, but yeah, I don't know. I think the most iconic shirts fall into 2 categories: simple and timeless, or so out there that they're a cult classic, and this is neither. It's just a smart shirt that will probably be forgotten in a few years. There's nothing wrong with it. 7.
7, yeah. I think I kind of agree with that. I think I'm actually going to give it a 7 as well. I think it's sort of upper middle, kind of does the job. Now this next one I do really like, so I'm intrigued. What do you reckon to Warrington's kit?
Too much yellow.
Do you think?
Yes. For me, this is an overkill in yellow. I don't know what it is. I didn't particularly like last year's shirt, but I did think it was better than this.
Yeah, it's the same colours as last year's, isn't it? It's just kind of more yellow than...
I actually think the Hoover sponsors in it... Yes, I think I would. And I think the Hoover sponsors in it is even worsely incorporated than last year. At least last year it was on the point of the V, and it kind of... As much as it didn't look right, it all pointed towards the sponsor. Here it's just transferred on afterwards. Other than that, it's not bad. The rest of it all fits in the primrose stripes, which is good. The sleeves are all one colour, which I actually think works in this occasion. I think it'd be too busy to cross into the sleeve. I like the contrasting hem on the sleeves though, and the collar.
Yeah, I like it, mate. I think it's really neat, and it sort of stands out as well. Like when you see it, it stands out. I think it'll look really good. Like when you're watching, like to watch the players playing it, I think it'll look good.
For me, this is a bit like Castleford. It's a nice shirt, but I'm not sure it screams Warrington home kit.
Maybe it screams a bit away kit. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, this reminds me of the classic days where you used to have your home kit and then your away kit was the same but inverted club colours.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm getting Rhinos 2010 vibes from this shirt.
What's
Our
your
away kit. 7.5, I think. There's nothing wrong with the shirt, but it just doesn't have the identity for me.
I'm going to give it a 9 for me. I think it's really good.
Right, this is going to be interesting.
Wigan.
Yes. First of all, what do you think? Love it or hate it? I'm going to let you go first.
I kind of, on the surface, I love it. On some pictures, with the players wearing it, with it all edited nicely, it looks really good. But then on the pictures of the shirts just sort of on their own, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I think it's one of them where on the players it'll look amazing, but on
I'm going to
supporters,
judge it by what it's like on the players, mostly.
Yeah, same. So I do like it then, I would say I like it.
I mean, I'm actually going to talk a bit... I mentioned Huddersfield having some very absorby bottoms earlier. I'm going to actually call out the shorts on this because there's a weird red stripe amongst one of the legs, and again, it's one of these weird... Why is it not continued round? Why is it only on the front of it? That looks ridiculous.
I like
going back. If it carried on all the way around, I'd like it, but it doesn't. That's my problem with it. Moving on to the actual shirt, this is going to really anger a lot of people because it just isn't cherry and white in the slightest. There's next to no white on it. And you know what? This is the most interesting and best shirt Wigan have made in over a decade. This falls into the sort of shirt that is a timeless classic because it's out there. You're going to struggle to find a better shirt than this in the competition this year. This is the highest rated, 9.5.
9.5 for you.
I love this shirt. I absolutely love this kit.
I do really like it. I think I'll be interested to see what it's like when we're watching it, sort of on telly, seeing what it looks like.
Do you know what I'm wishing? Swap the red out for blue, get those black stripes in white, and where we've got the weird black gradient textures, amber, that would have been a far better Rhinos shirt design than what we've got.
Yeah, some teams might follow in like Wigan's footsteps in the years.
I hope so.
Sort of shirt. I'm going to give it an 8.5, I think, which is still really high, I guess. So, yeah, that is every single team's home kit. We've rated them all. Tell us what you think. Tell us what the best kit in Super League.
I know you're going to all get annoyed with me, especially on that last one, because there's overhanging badges, there's everything I've pulled up other shirts for on there, but I'm sorry, it's just, it works. I don't know why, it just works. Yeah, and I'm sure you're all going to disagree with me. Shout at me in the comments, and we're recording the away kit video straight after this that will be up next week, so I'm not going to pay any attention to what you say for this one, but we are doing the NRL kits next, so I will be able to read your thoughts for that one.
Yeah, definitely. Also, on this Wednesday coming up, we will have our predictions in our podcast, episode 18 it will be. Our predictions for the league table, that sort of thing. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, and like this video. Check out his podcast that we did the Wednesday just gone, which was talking about all the transfers, incomings, outgoings of every team. And like Matt said, next Saturday we're going to have the away kits, and we're going to keep getting into it. And hopefully the 2021 season can actually start on time. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later.
See you, bye.